look at this. This is owner abuse. You're ridiculous.
Okay, well, it's time to feed the savages.
What I'm doing today, nothing too exciting. Oh, hello, she wants to be. Oh, no. What I'm doing today is I am preparing to move goats again because that's all I do is move goats. I have to clean this shed, and I will show you the shed. My husband, this is one of our weaning sheds. My husband just built this shed less than a year ago, and I will show you. I am, to be honest, a little embarrassed to share it with you because goats are, oh, now she wants to be. Hello. Hello, Spitfire. Oh, say hello. I'm a little embarrassed to share this shed with you because goats are buttholes and they destroy everything. Yes, they destroy everything, especially new things. They like to destroy new things. But anyway, I got to clean this shed out. I got to put up one of our kidding pens in it, and then I have to get the electricity run back to it. I think it's already, I just got to hook a wire up, I think. But anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do is move one horn, for sure, one horn, Grace, and Crazy into here because they don't play well with the other goats. And so we're going to move them and their babies into this weaning shed basically for the next 10 weeks. And then they'll get, the moms will get kicked out and the babies. Oh, look, you're back. Hello. I know. No? So anyway, I'll give you a little peek at this shed. All right, so this is why I am embarrassed to show you this shed. If you've noticed, here there's some pieces of insulation missing, and that is because goats are buttholes and they destroy everything. And we have to, I don't know if we're going to cut and fill it back in or if we're just going to put more plywood up around it. But for now, I'm just going to clean it and get it ready for the next group and just pray that they stop eating it because goats are just so naughty sometimes. I thought I'd give you all an update. I got everybody moved. And I have Grace one horn. I have a little creep pen, Grace one horn, and Crazy on the other side. And so, goats are buttholes. And so, yeah, it's actually quite cozy. It was chilly in here earlier, and it's amazing the heat that these critters put off. So the kids are doing good, and everybody's got a nice little home in here. So I think it's going to work out well.
Alright, well, got one dog out with me. I got 3 bottles. So the boys prefer Mountain Dew, and Rachel prefers Fanta. So we're gonna head out here, and I just want you to see the craziness that ensues. If any of you have had bottle babies, then you'll definitely know. But I'm gonna head through the gate, get over to the kidding shed for feeding time. Okay, you ready for this? There. They already heard us. Alright, well here's Crazy. Little boy and girl here. There's one horn and number 5. If anybody's wondering, with her ears, that is not a DQ. That is a that is just a bend, or it's a horizontal fold in the ear, which is not a DQ. It's a vertical fold that doesn't work. And then here's little number 4. Let me see if anybody's hiding back here. I need to trim your horn again. Now, I don't know why they like hanging back here, but It's muddy. We haven't had time to rock any of this back here. There's Faith. If any of you guys are wondering kind of what this kidding shed looks like, that's it. You kind of have a garden back there. I would like to someday put that on a foundation, get some electricity run over to it, and then run a water hydrant in there. That'd be super handy. But here's a couple of the little girls, number 4 and number 6. I think they're going to turn out nice. They'll be maybe a little heavier fronted, bigger boned. And then we got a couple of them in here that are a little more feminine build. Here's number 3. That's one of Crazy's. Number 5. Here's everybody else. They're hiding. Here's Grace's boy. It kind of stinks. At this age, you don't know what they'll turn into, but he is just a little hoss. So we'll have to see where he goes. Like I said, they all change. Everybody else could catch him, or he could stay ahead of him. But it'll be interesting to see. So they've got one of the carbon fiber lamps in here, and one of the Premier One Prima heat lamps. And they do have some grain in here. I don't know if anybody's been munching on it yet. But this is kind of what the other shed will look like. Okay guys, all being quiet. Shayna's putting the kids to bed. It's time to bottle feed the babies. There's a surprise waiting outside. Well, it's not gusting too bad. I guess at least you can possibly hear me. Goats sure aren't liking it. We're just in a winter storm warning or something. Just in the north of us, they're in a blizzard warning. Well, the babies heard the gate. I can already hear them. Well, we just got done feeding the bottle babies. Tummies are full. They're happy. Everybody's hanging out. It's 40 degrees in the shed. No real heaters. 4 mamas and babies. And we're going to walk out to this. Of course, you can't see any of that because the wind's blowing so hard out behind the shelter belt. It's Christmas Eve. It's my birthday. We just got back from taking the kids to look at Christmas lights. I don't know, maybe it'll become a tradition driving into Lincoln and looking at Christmas lights. One thing we already do is the last couple years I take the kids into town. We just did it the other day, so there wasn't much out there, but I'll take the kids, just Dad and the kids will go into town, Menards or someplace that has good ornaments, and we pick out their year's Christmas ornament. I know with COVID and stuff, a lot of people's plans have changed. We're trying to make sure all the kids are not sick this year as we try to head to my parents here this weekend and do things with Shayna's parents. But I just wanted to wish you guys all a Merry Christmas. It's a balmy 7 degrees outside. I'm gonna go in and make another pen so we can move Grace and her babies back into the weaning or the kidding shed from the weaning shed. Crazy and One Horn just don't get along with her. They don't get along with anybody, so maybe I'll just shoot a quick video of what we're gonna do. Okay guys, well, I didn't take you along for doing this. It's cold, it's my birthday. I wanna go in and eat some ice cream and some pizza. But the issue we're having, and if you raise goats or, if you're getting into it, you'll find out. As you have dominant ones, you have to separate them, right? So in here, and, this shows you when you can't let them out, how your shed turns. You just saw Shayna clean this shed, and you'll see, where they're next to their feeder, especially now when they have alfalfa, they just stand there and eat and eat and eat, and they pee and poop right there. Realistically, if we know, we got another 75% chance of snow next week. I wish I had a couple more of these, so these moms that we keep in here, we had them spread out. I'd love to be able to fix another one of those feeders to the wall, but we've got them spread out right now, and I just don't have one. But some of these guys just look really good. So we're really, really happy with this crop of goats so far. Here's our bottle babies. I think they get fed a little bit before Santa comes tonight. So that way we're all in bed. But everybody's looking good. So I want to say we've got Matthew, and then we've got Rachel. And Rachel's jumping up right now. It's kind of hard to show you guys. But anyway, yeah. As you can tell, they're bottle babies. But anyway, so what we're doing is we need to move Grace out of the weaning shed because One Horn and Crazy are just such big dominant does. I think they've been beating up on Grace, or chasing her around at least, or just pushing her away from feed. And we want to get her in an area where she's not just locked up in schizo. They've been locked up the last day or so. And we just want to get her out of there so she can calm down with her babies and get the feed she needs. So what I did quick is we have this area over here where there's a couple pins. As we kid these other groups, we had 7 pins set up, I believe, something like that. And then I've got this, well, it's a gate that we've got, and I just haven't used it yet. So I'm going to use it to kind of quick section off the shed. We'll kind of get her on the other side, just so they're not fighting, and we can always, acclimate her in. The problem is, in this pen, we've got Spotty over here, who's probably the more timid. We've got Faith, who she accepted one of her little ones. Rachel over here is one of hers. We've got Fanny, who is probably the second most dominant in this group, or third. So basically her and Faith kind of switch off. But Mystique is definitely the most dominant. Once Grace gets in here, she is by far going to be the most dominant. So we're going to kind of just separate her out. I just rebedded one of these stalls over here. Got the hay feeder and the grain set up so we can just kind of reach over. I know these goats. I've got that kind of... The hay feeder is bolted to the wall with some conduit clamps. And I just got that bungeed across. It's just going to depend on if it can move. These goats will figure out a way, so they'll end up all moving. But we'll at least give them this little area. They'll have a heat lamp. Surprisingly, for being 7 degrees outside, we're a little over 30. It says about 34. And just so you can see, there's a water from the other day that I need to dump. But none of the water in here is froze. We're just using this right now because clearly our concern with using a big water tank right now at this age of the babies is they like to try to jump in there. It never fails. We always come out here. One of them's wet. So we've just held off. Now, once the real cold starts setting in, we will probably fill that for a little more capacity because a lot of times our 150 foot of hose will freeze before we can get it filled up. So that's a concern. But anyway, that's kind of what we're looking to do, is get Grace and her 2 kids moved over. Where she kind of comes from some background in weather genetics, her kids look awesome, right? They all changed, but as of right now, they look really good. And I want to say the babies, we're bumping their feeding ounces up. I want to say we're pushing more like 12 ounces, but they're down to like 3 feedings a day versus 4. I want to say Shayna said they can only have a maximum of so many ounces a day. And it's based on their body weight and some stuff like that. But they're only supposed to have so many ounces a day. And so we're just trying to get them to more feedings. The one thing, Frankenstein being the one oddball in this, as far as sire, he looks like he could eat 20 ounces of feeding right now. The dude looks a little thin, and but hopefully we can get him kind of sorted over to eating some feed. We do have just a little alfalfa and a little bit of grain in here that they play around with. But like I said, these guys are looking good. There's a little Frankenstein. You can see how he's just a little thinner right now. We want to get him fed up, get him filled out, because like I said, he's got a different structure to him. They follow you like a mosquito. Hi. We've never had 4 bottle babies at one time, and let me tell you guys, I don't know if I know how to insert a picture. If not, I'm just going to tell you, I left Walmart today in the zoo to get groceries, and I had 14 gallons of milk in my cart. I had 7 gallons of 2%. That's kind of the weekly ration for the family. That's what we go through with 4 little kids. And then these little guys got all the whole milk. So yes, you guys and your heavy whipping cream for some fat are costing me a fortune. So you better be good, right? Okay. In the words of Bush's Baked Beans, roll that beautiful bean footage. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. So, it's a balmy 7 degrees outside, so that's exciting. I think what I'm going to do is, we bought a carpet remnant here a while back, maybe last year, last summer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure one of these doors over here, and I'm going to cut a carpet remnant to hang over the small entry door. That way, if the goats can learn to use it, we can open the door during the day when it warms up to 30, 40 degrees. And I'll cut a slit in it so they can come in and out. It's a little trick Todd Fick taught me, Todd and Jess. Anyway, that's kind of what's on the agenda for Christmas morning. It was kind of chilly in here this morning, so I turned that carbon fiber on to help kind of put some radiant heat out for that little bit of water. So anyway, here is our door. So I've got my piece of carpet cut, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a board, if I can put my finger there right, put a couple boards and just screw it up there. I'll put a couple slits in it. We'll see if they can run in and out. I just basically need it to keep the wind from blowing in here, because these are south facing. The babies like to get out here and lay underneath in the front, and so we want them to get out. I mean, they need to be out in the weather, in the cool, not super cold, but in kind of the cool weather, to get hardy to it. Side note, Tartar, if you're listening, I really do like these feeders because they're short and they're stout. This is One Horn. She is like 220 pounds when she's not bred. I mean, this goat's got to be, she's got to be north of 220 pounds now, plus all the udder weight. But they're really sturdy. And they're short enough that, you know, goats love to eat out of the top of these things. When you get the little giants, they're so tall that when they're bolted together down on the legs, they'll break the bolts constantly. They almost need to be welded together. And even then, they're too tall. I don't really care for them. I really like these. But Tartar, give me a longer option. Give me an 8-foot one also. And make this V, I know it's for some pygmies and stuff, make this V a little bit bigger so when I have a small square bale, I can come in and set it in and it'll drop right to the bottom. That would be, then you'd have me. I mean, then I'd be sold on them 100%. Excuse me. Like you guys had seen, very good idea right here. Use a conduit clamp. As you can see, my insulation chunks are falling down where I pieced it together. Use a conduit clamp to hold that together so they can't tip these over. So far it's working. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't be strong enough, but so far it's doing well. So Anyway, I'm gonna get this cut and then I'll show you guys the final product. Okay, so don't sue me, I didn't pretty it up. But anyway, that's basically what it's gonna look like. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna slide it over and try to maybe, I don't know, screw it in on the side or something. I don't know. Basically, like I said, it's just to prevent a little bit of wind from coming in. I'll put a couple cuts up it so they can kind of come in and out. We'll just have to watch to see if they use it. But like I said, nothing pretty, just a couple scrap 2x4s and a chunk of carpet just to test it out. Okay, so I bent it around the corner a little bit and I moved this board over here to hold it in. Like I said, that's really all we're after, is to give them a little bit of grace from the wind if we want to let them in and out. They clearly got all this room to get in here out of the wind, especially if I insulate that door so it doesn't sweat and chill. Babies can get into some heat. They really basically never use it, but if they want to. Oh, we got somebody going to test it out. So here's what it looks like outside. So as you can see, it's kind of bent in, but yeah, like I said, it's serving its purpose. We can still get the door closed. I don't know, you can just see a little bit of an ear tag popping through. Maybe I'll come up here and lift it up so they know they can come out. Don't know if I'm going to catch anybody doing this for you, but you guys kind of get the idea. Well, anyway, guys, like I said, we've just got a couple little project things like this going on. Like I said, I need to finish that shed. We just got some more Menards money, and you gotta love getting those rebates. You know, spend money to get money. So hopefully we can get some plywood and finish that shed. I know I've got enough insulation, or I should have very close to enough insulation to finish it. It'll definitely help having it insulated when I start putting wood up in there if it's really cold. So anyway, like I said, we'll probably call it a day. We've got family coming over this afternoon about 4 o'clock for Christmas supper and some more presents. So I hope you guys all have a very blessed Christmas.